Hello everybody, welcome to Empire Game Center. Today we're going to answer one of the more popular questions that players ask us, especially around pre-release time, and that is, what do I need to do to play a match of Sanctioned Magic the Gathering, as I've never played Sanctioned Magic the Gathering before? The first thing you will need to do is you will need a DCI number to participate in Sanctioned Magic the Gathering events. You will want to visit accounts.wizards.com and follow the instructions on the page after creating the Click Account button. It's pretty self-explanatory. You'll fill in your first name, your address, your email address, all the information. You click the button, your account will be active, and there will be a DCI number on the screen for you to use anywhere you play Sanctioned Magic the Gathering. It's any game store, any convention center setting, any college campus, or wherever you would play Sanctioned Magic the Gathering. Keep that DCI number with you, save it in your phone, keep a piece of paper in your wallet. That'll be used to identify you in Sanctioned Magic the Gathering events, and you'll be able to track your Planeswalker points through that number. All right, today we are going to open a sample pre-release pack. We have already removed the plastic from this to make it easier. And we are going to explain some of the things that you'll want to bring with you or have for the event. First off, you're going to want to keep your cards in nice condition. You'll want card sleeves. Here's a couple sample packs of card sleeves. These are called Ultra Pro. These are Eclipse sleeves right here in the blue. The pink ones are just basic matte deck protectors. The matte protectors have a little bit of texture on the back of them. There's classic sleeves such as the KMCs here, and these silver dragon shields hanging out here. The classic sleeves, they're smooth on the back. They're not matte textured. This apple green one here has texture on the back. But you're going to want to find which brand of sleeves you want, Ultra Pro, KMC, or Dragon Shield. You'll have to try them all out. Every player has a preference. And you'll want to use those to keep your cards in good condition. Then you're going to want to have a deck box. This is a premium deck box. Closes with magnets. Be able to put your cards inside there. This one's a little bit more expensive. There's cheap deck boxes that range from $2 to expensive deck boxes that are up to $30 a piece or so. Again, it's all personal preference what type you would like to use. Then you're going to want to have some dice to use as counters. We carry +1/+1 and -1/-1 dice at our store. This is so you can mark your creatures if you put a +1/+1 counter on it, or -1/-1 counter on your opponent's creatures. These are nice to have. Much better than basic dice like this to be used. Nothing wrong with these dice though. Next, you're going to want to have some form of dice for your Planeswalkers. We have loyalty dice. These are good for your Planeswalkers, especially with all the Planeswalkers that are in standard right now. Pretty good. Then you're going to want to be able to keep score. A lot of players doing casual Magic at home will keep score with basic 20-sided dice. You're at 10, I'm at 14. But I go like this, I accidentally bump it when I move the loyalty counter on a Planeswalker. It now says I'm at 17. The opponent and yourself get into a discussion about which life total is right. It's hard to keep track. That's why I recommend bringing basic pen and paper with you to the event. Shameless plug here with our business pen. But if you bring paper and pen to keep score on, it is much easier to keep track of, and any judge or event staff will definitely thank you when they are attempting to solve the debate of, I think you are at 14 life, not 17. All right. Now, we are going to check out this pre-release kit. We're going to open up the contents of this, because the first thing you're going to want to do when the event starts and you receive your kit and you are given the go-ahead by the judge or the organizer or whoever is in charge of the event, first thing you want to do is verify the contents of your pre-release kit. If you bring up that, hey, my kit only has 3 packs in it to start, the organizer or judge will believe you much more than 28 minutes into the 30-minute deck build of, hey, I was missing some packs. So you always want to check your contents first. As I said, we already removed the plastic from this. There may or may not have been an error with the last filming video from this narrator guy. David's also here watching and laughing at me right now. But yes, there may or may not have been an error. So you're inside your pre-release kits, you will receive 6 booster packs. Some sets, there will be 5 regular booster packs and a seeded pack. This depends, like, does the set have a theme where there's a 2-color combination, a 3-color combination, some faction. It really depends, like, what Wizards does with the set and what theme there is. But you want to make sure you have 6 packs. So we have 6 packs, a promo card, and you should have a spin down die hanging out in the bottom. As you can see here, we have one in the bottom here, hanging out, M19. Your promo card that comes out of the pre-release packs is playable in the sealed portion of the event. Now, the most important thing that you can do when you receive your packs, you need to make sure that you know that there's 30 minutes for deck building. To get through the deck building process within 30 minutes, we recommend that you open your packs as fast as possible before investigating all of the cards that you have. And by opening your packs, this will allow event staff to remove trash from the gaming area, which will give you a more comfortable space to build your deck as well as playing Magic the Gathering. While you open your stuff, I recommend color sorting them because this will make deck construction so much easier. I apologize if this is a little slower than I would normally sort. It is a task to reach around the camera here to sort out these cards. So after, obviously, if you have any major discrepancies like, hey, every single card in my pack is a rare, or every card is an uncommon, or some form of discrepancy where there's only 8 cards, or a crimped card that got caught in the pack wrapper, or any form of misprint or oddity or anything, you'll want to call the event staff over to say, hey, half my cards are miscut, something's weird here. The event staff will get you taken care of. I know in our store, if you opened up some misprints, we would either give you the option of replacing, which I would not recommend, or we would get you a replacement booster pack. We would figure it out. We would make sure it's favorable for the player. Obviously, if there's an additional pack to this process, you would not be able to use that in the event, but we would make sure that you're taken care of and a happy customer. So after we sort these out, what we're going to want to do is you'll want to evaluate your color stacks. You're going to want to build a 2-color deck. Some people like to do 3. I don't recommend playing more than 1 or 2 cards of a 3rd color most of the time, unless you have a lot of gold cards and a lot of ways to fix your mana, because it will be very difficult to play a 3-color deck if you have 3 even stacks of these 3 colors. The goal is to build a minimum 40-card deck, but you will want to remain as close to 40 cards as humanly possible. Because if you play a deck that has 62 cards, it is going to be much more difficult to draw the 1 card that you will need that can make a larger impact on the game, such as this dragon guy here. Basic lands are provided by the store. Any place you play Sanctioned Magic, you will be able to pick up basic lands at the store. There's usually a land station somewhere in the store. You'll have to check with the event staff to find where that is. All we ask is please return the basic lands at the end of the event, as these are very valuable, so other players will still be able to build their decks for future pre-release events. You are welcome to bring your own lands from home with you. Basic lands, you could bring beta land if you really want to. Just make sure they're in sleeves. And then we're on to the deck building process. Some players say, how do we build the deck? You're going to want to have a little bit of an early game, a mid-range game, and you're going to want to have the larger creatures, such as this 6-drop. I don't recommend building a deck of 6, 7, 8, and 9-drop creatures or spells, because it's going to be very difficult if you run against a deck that has 1, 2, and 3-drop creatures. You want to make sure you have a nice balanced game for early game and late game. Speaking of creatures, you'll want to make sure you have, on average, 15 creatures per deck, about 13 to 17 most of the time. Really depends what your card pool looks like. But that way you'll have a good chance of having some creatures in your game of Magic the Gathering. You will want to have, on average, 8 non-creature spells. That would be things such as your creature enchantments, instants, planeswalkers, cards that are combat tricks, removal spells, direct damage, anything that would or regular enchantments, artifacts, anything that's not a creature. So now that you would have an average of 23 creatures and other spells, you are going to want to have, on average, 17 lands in your deck. The 17 lands can be the basics, which are provided, or the non-basics that are in your pack. But we recommend 17 on average. If you have a lot of 5, 6, and 7 drops in your deck, you'll probably want to consider 23 to 24 basic lands. If you have a lot of 1, 2, and 3 drops, such as this 3 casting cost thing and this 2 casting cost thing, you might want to consider 15 or 16 lands. It's all personal preference, but we recommend 17 on average, depending what your deck looks like. One more thing about this, at pre-release, deck building is continuous build. This means if you start with a black-red deck and you decide that I really want to play my white-blue deck, you do not have to stick to the black-red deck for the duration of the event. You would then be able to use the white-blue deck, or you can go to black-blue. Whatever color combination you want. You could play, if you're playing a 4-round or 5-round pre-release, you could use 4 or 5 different variations of the decks, as long as all of the cards come from the original sealed pack that you opened. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this first video of what a pre-release experience would be like. It's a very fun experience. I recommend everybody check it out. Keep an eye on our Facebook page or our website, empiregamecenter.com, and you will see event updates from us. All right, thanks for watching, and have a great day.